By the way, yesterday's recording is already on the presentation towards the end. So for those of you who missed yesterday and you want to watch what we did, you can definitely go watch on that presentation. I'll show it to you here. It's down here at the very bottom on slide 37, and day one video is already there. Okay. All right. Sorry, I'm just getting situated, getting my chat here where I can see it. Okay. All right. So welcome back for Personalized Learning with eJournals. I hope you guys had a chance to look at some of the resources and start digging in a little bit. Today we will be creating some templates. So let me go down to the slides for today. And we're here at Jump In. So we're going to go a little deeper today into deeper waters. All right. So today's agenda, we're going to review some examples and resources from yesterday. I feel like there towards the end, I kind of rushed a little bit and I gave you a charge to go look at your the examples and resources on your own, but I really want to make sure that you had some time to do that. And so I'm going to review them just quickly today. That way, if you didn't have a chance yesterday, you have an idea. And then we're going to add some resources to our Chrome browser, like Flat Icon or Bitmoji. That way you can have those ready to use when you're designing. And then we're going to learn today how to create a template from scratch in using the master slides. You will follow me on that one. So you'll have to have, you know, my Zoom presentation off to the side, and then you can have your Google Slides open on the computer as well. And then we're going to learn how to grab a template from other slideshows. So if you don't want to create from scratch and you see lots of templates out there that you like and you want to use, I'm going to show you how to just grab those and put them in inside your slideshow. And then we'll hopefully have some time for Q&A. All right, so I'm going to exit this screen because I need to go back and I'm going to do a little bit of review. So we'll start here. I think this is where I started rushing. And this is just a reminder of the benefits of using digital journals. We talked about this yesterday, but I just wanted to give you this visual reminder of all of the things we are addressing by using eJournals. And I won't read them all over, but just want to make sure you know that's there. This is the part I really wanted to get to. So here you could have clicked on any of these for some examples. And so I'm going to start with this one here. This is a slide. I thought that one was hyperlinked. Let me make sure. Did I not hyperlink that? Oh no. All right, well, I'm glad I'm doing this. So let me grab it from my drive. And I don't know about you guys, but lately my computer has been taking a long time to do that. Oh, I'm sorry, you need the link to the presentation. Okay, let me grab it while that's going. And let me send it to everyone. I'm sorry. I usually send the sign in and then the presentation right after. There's the link to this presentation for those of you who need it. If you were not here yesterday. Okay, so I was looking for the digital notebook slide. And let's see that. This does not look good. That's taking a long time. Wow, it is really slow. The link to the sign-in, yes. Let's see. And there's the link to the sign-in. Today's session is day 2, and we are creating eJournal templates today. All right, here is the slide I wanted to show you. And I'm going to go ahead and grab the link and put it right over here as a hyperlink so that next class it's ready to go. All right, there we go. Okay, so here, this is just a little guide that we put together for summer learning for teachers that are creating summer modules for the playground, and it's information on how to create a digital notebook all in one nice little package here. And can you put the link to the session? Maria, what session are you talking about? Are you asking about the present?
Yeah, the presentation, yes.
Oh, the presentation, okay.
Yes, sorry.
It's okay. So on this slide, you're gonna see a couple of samples of interactive notebooks, which are these down here. And then you're gonna see some videos that will help guide you as well. So if you wanna watch some of these videos, they're not too long, but it does go over some of the topics I'm going over with you in this 3-day series. So let's take a look at some of these. Here's an example of a student field guide that was created for students to use for specific content. So yesterday we talked about how would we create the notebooks. Would it be something like for a year long that they would keep their notebook for the whole year? Or would it be for specific content like the lab, science lab notebook I showed you yesterday? So that's one example. That one is not filled out, but this one, I did have this one filled out with the actual work that the students would do. So remember yesterday we talked about pre-populating some of these slides. So if there are specific things you want the students to do, you can pre-populate the slides, have that ready for them before you send them their interactive notebook or their eJournal. So here you see where I put in a video and some activity information there. I gave them some websites to use for their research. And then these are templates that have been developed ready for them to come in and start working. So really it scaffolds the work for the students, okay? So notice how the first one I showed you didn't have any of these. It just had the title at the top and blank. So think about, as you're thinking about, creating these notebooks for your students, you can think about creating a template for yourself that you can always have ready with the types of things you do all the time in your class. And then you can go in and create some of these on top of it after you make a copy of your master. So for example, if I know I'm going to do a student field guide for a different topic, I would go back to my master, which is this one. Notice again, it doesn't have any content in there. It's just a master template. And then I would make a copy of that. I would make a copy of the whole thing. I wouldn't want to mess with this one, okay? And then I would create based on the content for my students. So that's one example. Here's another example of a science IMB, and this is IMB stands for Interactive Notebook. And this one looks more like a journal, and so I did that on purpose. I just took a picture of a notebook and placed it as the cover. So yesterday I showed you how to make a cover and change your cover art. Well, my cover art for this is just the picture of a journal so that it looks like a journal, okay? And I did show you yesterday how we started, we created a table of contents. So this is the same idea where you can hyperlink to the slide. And then these are just some templates that I created in there on top of paper. So notice here a place for them to put a picture, and maybe some notes about the picture or a summary or some vocabulary words, however you want students to start designing in their notebook. Here's an example of a table where they can just do word, definition, and picture and start adding those in. And remember yesterday I showed you drag and drop. where I actually put the words on the side and definitions on the side, and they had to match them up in their table. So again, you get to decide how much you're going to give them in advance, and then how much they're going to, how much they can just do on their own, how much creativity they can use to complete the journal. So again, this is just some examples. Now, this one's a little bit more, how do you say it? This took a lot more design time, right, to make this right here. But I like it, and I like to show it as an example because, well, you know, I think I told you yesterday I taught science, so we always did things like this where the students had to pick an element, they had to own their own element, they adopted an element, they had to get to know everything about it. And so I like this because it's a great way to have students create like a little poster on just their element. So this could be anything, could be any topic, right? But here are the pieces that need to be in here. A screenshot of the element, some text here. This is actually the element, the square from the periodic table. They have to fill this out. And then they're gonna draw a diagram of the element. And so it would look something like this, okay? So once the students go in and fill it out, they're all creating a poster like this. I do think this is a great way to get students to learn how to do things like insert a picture, adding their text, right? Drawing something. They could draw it, take a picture of it with their phone or with their iPad or whatever they have. Even on a Chromebook, you can take a picture and then bring it in onto the slide. Now, all of the students' posters will look the same because you created the template. So what I suggest is you use a template at first to kind of help students know what's expected when they're creating things like this. But eventually you want to start giving them a blank slate so that they can create their posters and that they look different. You might just give them a rubric and say, these are all the things you need on your poster. And then they can create their own posters and really bring in more of that creativity and differentiation. And so this next one here is the same idea of the drag and drop I showed you yesterday. I actually had these element names over to the side, right? They can be over to the side. And when the student comes in, they would have to identify which element name goes with what model, okay? So again, just a great way to have students have some notes inside their journal that they can refer back to and study. And then here's just some paper for whatever, right? I like to have a little house that takes them right back up to their table of contents. And yesterday I showed you how to hyperlink. So I can review that again with you today, but all we're doing is we're highlighting the house. We're using the little hyperlink guy up here at the top, insert link, and then we're saying where we want it to go to. So all these houses, once you make one house with the hyperlinks on it, all you need to do is copy it and paste it onto every slide. And now there's a little house on every slide that will take them right back up to the top if they need to. Any questions on any of these two examples I just showed you? Okay, I really like this Exploring Social Studies. I use it pretty much in any of my presentations where I'm talking about interactive notebooks or if I'm talking about hyper docs. And I like it because it is so visually appealing. And that's one of the things that we do have to keep in mind with our students is how do we get them to really be excited about coming to their journal? You know, one thing is to let them be creative, like you guys yesterday were able to do your cover art and decorate your journal the way you want it. But another thing is if we're going to present them with some pre-populated templates that we want them to use, we kind of need to make them a little visually appealing, right? We are competing with what they see in the outside world, and if we just give them some plain stuff, they may not be interested in even looking at it. So how do we intrigue? And it doesn't have to be a lot, you know, a little color, of course, colors that are not too loud or too blinding for them. Definitely we want to stay with those kinds of colors that are easy on the eye. But just look at this and you'll see what I mean. Like, doesn't this just look really cool and inviting? I don't know, I kind of like it. I really like this one with the four squares, and it can be anything, any title at the top of the squares, right? We could turn this into a Frayer model and put a word or term right in the middle. So all of these templates are things that I kind of want you to look at and see, is there anything here that you like? Is there something here that you would want to recreate in your own journal today? Okay. And then this one is a good one because you can come in, like I mentioned earlier, and you can grab any of these templates that you like and they're ready to go. You can just copy them and paste them into your own journal. And I am going to show you how to do that. So look at this, comic strips, lab reports. We talked about that yesterday. Numbers ready to go for students so they don't have to waste time trying to make their numbers. Okay, so all of this ready for them to use. Okay, here's a dot. The kids could just make a copy of that dot, or you could have given them lots of dots to place up here. All right, so again, lots of stuff. And you're gonna notice that some of the things I have in my notebooks, I actually grabbed them from here. I grabbed them from here and I put them in my own journal, okay? Oh, I love this one too. The one with the little sticky notes. Where was that? Where did I see that? There it is. So little sticky notes, some little arrows. Again, we are giving students some tools to help them develop their own skills. But eventually, they will learn how to do all of this on their own. They will learn how to make boxes and create mind maps and use the types of objects they want to use to make these. Okay. And then finally, this one is a journal that we created for some of the summer programming in the playground right now. Oh no, I linked the wrong one. That's not the one. I didn't know that I had done that. So the My Superhero Journal, let me come look for it here. And some of you may have seen it on the playground already. It's with one of the units on energy. And so what we're doing is we're creating journals for every module, or for most modules that are going up in the playground, so students can start learning how to keep their content and their notes in one place. So notice we gave them lots of different types of paper, right? And in this one, I love this because we gave them some highlighters. So here they are. So feel free to steal these highlighters and put them at the end of your notebook so that students can use them. So all they need to do is copy and go up anywhere in their journal where they want a highlight and resize their highlighter to cover whatever it is they want to highlight, okay? And we also like to give the students stickers that they can use to personalize their books. But again, let students be creative. You can give them some stickers, but then they can also go search for some stuff to personalize their books even more. Any questions on any of these? I think I better, let me grab this link and fix that. So when you need to fix a hyperlink, I'll just show you here. Click on the link again, and I'm going to delete that one and paste the new link. So now it goes to the Superhero Journal. Okay, make sure that I'm not going to review these, but I will just open it up so you see what it looks like. Lots of graphic organizers. Again, these are great to come copy and paste. Okay, so you see them here, and there are quite a few. So take a look at all of these for some examples. All right, I'm going to go back. And any questions on what we just looked at? So down here, I put some more journals. This one's blank, and it could be one if you want to use it today. when you create your journal, you definitely can. It's a nice, simple, spiral looking book. It's got the tabs there ready to go. Okay. And I like it because I love the color coordination. So you've got your covers and title areas up there. And then this goes back to the divider. This should be hyperlinked to go back to the divider. That's kind of like that home button I showed you earlier. And then remember I mentioned the superhero journal was part of our summer modules. Well, EdTech, this is from content, right? From CNI. But EdTech, our team, we are making summer modules for students that are very integrated and have a lot of technology integration where they're either creating videos or creating, doing makerspace, creating PSAs like you see here. And so lots of really cool stuff. And so we're making some journals for those, and you can see those here. All right, so more good stuff. I'll tell you why I did this. I'm not gonna go over every single piece in here, but I really, when I was doing my research for this session, I was looking at what do real journals look like, right? And so I just did a Google search. And I decided I saw a journal. I saw this one right here. Where is it? This one right here where it says notes with the brown cover and how, it looks like it's been drawn on. And then the doodles, like I really liked some of these doodles, like this one here that has doodles. I really liked that. And I was like, how could I recreate that if I want to make my own cover digitally that looks like it's got doodles, right? So that's what I did here. And by the way, these roses, I made these roses in Google Drawing. So I actually, just created a new Google Drawing, and I used the scribble tool and made these. And so it's real easy. I also made this little bird with using the scribble tool. And so I won't lie, I didn't just make that freehand. I found a bird that I liked using, I think it was Pixabay. I showed you guys that yesterday, and I found the bird, but the bird outline was black and I couldn't change the color. So what I did was I went ahead and brought the bird in, and then I used my scribble tool, which is this up here. Let's see, insert, line, scribble, okay? So I used the scribble tool and I just went over the black line that I saw there for the bird, and then I changed the line to white and I got rid of the picture behind it. So kind of cheated a little bit. All right, so, and these are just word art. I brought in word art and I changed the font style. You'll see that here, see it's word art. And I like word art because it's like a picture. So I can easily manipulate the size without having to change the font number. And I can also change the color in a jiffy. And I can do things like change it to a gradient. So see that? And you can't do that with text. You can't do the gradient with text because gradients only work for pictures, and word art is a picture. If I want to make my own gradient, I can come here and I can change the gradient style, and there it is. Okay, so that's why I like word art. Want to make sure you guys know about word art. So I started curating. I said, you know what? I'm never going to find these pictures again. And I don't want to just save them on my desktop because I have tons. So I said, well, why don't I just keep a journal on my journal ideas? So that's what I did. I created a journal here, and here are some example layouts. And so what I want to do, my goal over the summer is I want to create some of these layouts. These look really cool. And I want to create some of these digitally for my digital books. Look at this, daily lists. Wouldn't it be cool to put in a page for our students where they have a daily to-do list, right? So look at that. And just so you know, when I was in the classroom and I was teaching my students how to do some things similar to this, I always had an example. Like I always gave them exemplars, like you can do it like this, or you can do it like this. I really wanted them to be free with their creativity. So I would show them examples and then let them do these types of things. So you don't necessarily have to create all of these. You know, if you like them, you don't have to necessarily do them, but show students how to do it just by giving them the picture. And they're like, oh yeah, I can do that. I can just make, you know, boxes, right? And use the word art to make that playlist at the top. Bring in a picture using the insert picture using the tools, right? Explore. So lots of fun things they can do. So I just started curating for myself. And then here are some graphic organizers that I think for younger elementary would be really great to put inside a journal. All right, now we're getting ready to go. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. These are some of the things that you will be learning how to do today. I do want you to try grabbing the flat icon and to, if you like Bitmojis and you want to personalize a little bit for your, like when you put instructions for students and you want to have a picture of yourself in a Bitmoji style, you can grab those. So all you do is click on the link and you can install them. And this one's the flat icon, you can install that one. So if you want to do that, go ahead and do that now. I'll give you guys a minute or two before we get started on creating. And if you have any questions at this time as well, please let me know. Can you turn the air on a little bit? Yeah. Oh, flat icon. Okay, so if I go to my add-ons and insert flat icon, I'm gonna start it here. It comes up on the side. And I have, this flat icon has so many icons that are ready to use. And a lot of these icons you see here, I grabbed from flat icon, except for this emoji one. This one is from my emojis. But I can come up here and let's say, I'm doing, I don't know, a topic on Earth. I can look up Earth and I can find lots of little icons that I can instantly grab. It's the free ones. If you see a little crown, that's for the paid, but there are lots of free. This is just really cool. So I can grab an icon and insert it right away. But the other cool thing is there are some icons that you can actually change the color. So let me look for an arrow. So let's say I choose this arrow. Notice that I can change the color before I insert it. And I can even pick, if those aren't colors I need, and I need to pick the color, I can change the color of the arrow, okay? Now for me, because I do a lot of design work, there are certain colors I like to use, like here you see I'm using a lot of teals and purples, right? So what I can do is if I want to match the color, which is what I did here with this flat icon, okay, I would find the color that I'm using. So how do I find the color that I'm using? All right, so what I do is I go to my paint bucket and then I just hit that plus sign as if I'm gonna get a new color. It's gonna take me to the color I'm on right now. And this is the purple color that I want right here. Okay, so then I'm going to just copy that right there, that code. If I want the exact color, okay, you don't have to, you can kind of guess what the color is by looking at it. I do that sometimes, but you can actually put in the exact color. Well, that one didn't take my copy. So let me find a different one so I can show you. For whatever reason, it didn't take my copy. Okay, so copy and paste it here. What's it doing? Oh, I don't know what I'm doing there. Okay, I can't really explain why that's not working, but in almost every tool that I use, and I know I've done it here too. That's how I did this one. Not really sure what's happening, but I don't want to waste time. So have you guys been able to grab those and place them? What you're going to see is they're going to be here in your add-on section. So add-on, once you've got them, they're going to show up right here. Okay. All right. Let's go to follow me. And you're going to click on this new e-journal, create your own from scratch. Open it up. And it's just one slide. It's just one slide because I want all of you to make your own. And so what I want you to do is everyone make a copy of it right now. Change it to your name. So file and make a copy right here of the entire presentation, which it's only one slide, but that's fine. Okay, and once everyone has done that, the first thing we're going to start with is notice that this journal is in landscape. It's totally fine if you want a journal in landscape. You can do something similar to the science one we looked at yesterday where they had it, it looked like an open book. This one right here, and if you weren't here yesterday, I'll show you. It looks like an open book. So you see it like this. You can find a picture like this as well that looks like the pages are open, and you can totally design it that way if you want. Okay, or you can turn it the other way, right, into portrait mode the way I do mine and make it look more like a journal. So, I mean, this will look like a journal too. It's just going to be like an open book journal. So let's learn how to do that. If you want to turn it the other way, let's learn how right now. And if you want, you can practice with me to do it, and then you can turn it back this way if this is the one that you like. So you're going to go to page setup, and notice it's on widescreen right now. Click that and go to custom. And here you're going to pick 8.5 by 11. And then turn it that way. Let me know if you have any questions. Okay. The next thing I want you to do is I want you to notice that I placed text on top of the slide. Okay. And so this is not in the masters, and that's fine. It's just on top of the slide. You can delete those if you want. And then I want you to notice that I have a background color. All I did for the background color was I went in and chose a background color. Okay. That's all I did on that one. It is not in the master, so I'll show you right now. So if everybody will go to your masters, go to slide, edit master. Let's look at the master. And every Google slideshow is going to come with masters that look like this. Okay. So all this means is that these are the font styles. These are placeholders. And this is the font style that is chosen for your master. So this is Arial. So notice every time you make a new slideshow, that's why you get Arial, because they're all in Arial. Okay, and they already have a font size that kind of goes with it. You can change it on the front end, but if you really want to make changes to your template to keep it the same every time, you can come to the masters and change it. So I'm going to go to my master slide at the very top, and I'm going to say I want all of my title placeholders to be Laundrina Solid. There it is. Notice it changed it for all of the layouts. I didn't have to go to every single layout and change it. I changed it on the master slide. Okay, now, how about when I tab over, every time I make a tab, this is what's gonna happen. Okay, so I can actually go in and change all of these fonts. But what I'm gonna do is change these to Pompier, and there they are. So just click on the box for the whole thing, and you can change to the type of font you want for the second level text. Well, I say second level because second to the title, right? So title and then text on the page. All right, so have you guys changed your fonts? Now, just because you change it here does not mean that you cannot create a layout and use a whole other font. You can, but you would just do it on the actual page where you want it to look different. What this slide controls is all of the layouts in one, just in one, right? You can see that. They should all be different here. Okay, I'm gonna change this one back to Pompier because that's what I like. All right. Okay, now the next thing we're gonna do, any questions? We're gonna go ahead and pick a layout to change. So pick one of your slides. It doesn't really matter what slide you pick. Sometimes I like to keep these styles right here. So I will make a copy, but you don't have to. I mean, you really don't have to. I think that's just my OCD. So I'll go ahead and change this one. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna create a Frayer model. That's kind of the design I wanted to walk you through today, just so you can learn all of the pieces. And so it'll look something like this. Okay, we're gonna make a Frayer model as a template. So notice I have 4 boxes with a box in the middle for the title or for the term, okay? All right, so let's go here, and for now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move this up, right up here. And I'm just gonna get rid of this one here. I don't need this. Okay. All right. Do you guys want to put paper on the back, just so you can see how that works? You want to put some paper. So a couple of different ways to do that. Before we start on our Frayer model, we're going to put a background. All right, so I can, there are a couple of things I can do. If I want, I can just put a background color, right? Or I can choose an image, and I can do a Google image search right here for paper. Paper background. And there's some paper there for me. There's crinkled paper, there's all kinds of paper. So I can pick something here. Okay. Here's one. And notice what happened. It made it huge because what it's doing is applying it as the background, okay? So I wanted to make sure you saw that because there's another way to do it. So I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna say, instead of background, I'm gonna insert an image, and then I'm gonna go ahead and search the web for that. Paper background. I get the same papers that I got a while ago for setting the background. So I'll just find that paper here. Where was it?
It's up.
Go ahead.
You have to go up a little bit. There you go.
So this, I think this is the one I had chosen, and notice it's not as stretched. And so what I can do is I can stretch the whole paper. And it is getting pretty large, which I don't really like. I don't really like the way that looks. So the other option is to find a different paper, or I can do this, which I have done before. So I can just double it, and then I'm gonna shorten it here to match the size. There it is. Okay, so again, there are different ways to set your background. So I'm gonna show you the other way I do it, which is I use Pixabay or Unsplash. I'm gonna get rid of these. And I find if I don't really like what I found just using the Google search, I come look here. And these are really high quality pictures too. So notice I can find different things here. And kind of like the way this looks. So I'm gonna download that. So hopefully you guys are looking for some paper along with me. Download. I'm not a robot. Okay, and yesterday I also showed you how I like to immediately save any of my downloads into my Unsplash Pixabay folder so I can find them quickly when I need them. So now I'm gonna go back here, insert image, upload from computer, and find that paper that I just uploaded, which is this one right here. Open. And then I'm going to cut it so it's just the paper. I'm gonna crop. Okay, and then I'm gonna drag from the corner. Remember, we wanna keep it proportional. And then you can crop more if you want. If you don't want any of that background of the, the table to show, which sometimes I think it's pretty cool, but you can crop even more. Actually, I'm gonna get rid of the title for now. I kind of don't want it. And I'm just gonna do the picture. Okay. All right, any questions on that? And I'm gonna crop it a little to match. All right, now we're ready for our our Frayer model. Has everyone chosen some kind of background? Okay. Well, next we're going to bring in some boxes or shapes. So decide what kind of shape you want for your Frayer model. I'm gonna pick the oval type square, the square with the oval edges, rectangle actually. And I'm gonna need 4. So first I need to size it the way that I want. Okay, kind of like that. And I can go ahead and set it with the border size that I want before I make copies of it, because I want them all to look the same. So I put a border of 8 points on that. And I can go ahead and give it a color. Okay. I'm gonna use the yellow. And now all I need to do is copy it. So I use Command C to copy quickly. Otherwise you go to edit, copy, and then paste. But on a PC, there should be a shortcut. Can anyone share the shortcut for a PC?
I can share a shortcut actually with a Mac.
Okay.
And And this was from another PD with Ernest.
Uh-huh.
If you click on the icon and press Option and you drag over, it makes a perfect copy of it.
Oh, okay. You click on the option and then what?
You click on the option while you click on your image and just drag it over.
Oh, awesome. See, I didn't even know that. I use Command C and Command V. So that is awesome. Look at that. Perfect. So now I've made 4 perfect, very aligned boxes. Okay. Now all I need to do is change my colors. So I want different colors for these. So I'm just going to use the colors here. A lot of times, guys, I make my own colors. Like I go, you know, I design based on the color scheme for my notebook, but you don't have to do that. These are great colors that are ready to go. Okay. So I made 4. And now you're going to need to make one in the middle. And this is where you can be kind of creative. Like if you want to move these up a little, move these down a little, and then, what am I doing? And then bring one to the middle for your term. You could do that. Or you could make these a little bit taller. Right? And then put your term in the middle the way the Frayer model usually looks. And then what color will I use on that? Okay. That one's boring. Let's see. Okay. All right, so we have made a Frayer model. Now, does it look like the one I have over here? Where is it? No. So here I put square white boxes. So feel free to, you know, make it the way you want. If you want to put a white box, all I did was I grabbed another box in there and then just make that white. And then you can get rid of that line. So go to border color, make it transparent. So that's how I did that. If you want to do something like that, totally up to you. Okay. All right. And then this one here, it looks like this has a little shadow that makes it look like it's popping out. So what you could do, I'm going to make that line small, the border smaller, and go to Format, and then Format Options, and then here's where you can add a drop shadow. You can play with the shadow, see how you want it to look. Okay. And see how it looks like it's popping out. All right. Next, you're going to learn how to insert a placeholder. So go to the text box right here where it says Insert Placeholder. And look at the difference between if I put a title. So let's say I put a text box here and I call it Frayer Model. And then let me just show you what happens here. So I used the text box. I did not use a placeholder. Okay. So let me X out. And this took the place of my cover, which that's fine. And so that's what it's going to look like. Okay. The Frayer model is there and you can't move it because it's not a placeholder. It is a text box. Okay. So let me go back, and instead of a text box, I want a placeholder. I want a title placeholder. I'm going to put that up here. Okay. And I want my title placeholder to be Laundrina Solid. So remember earlier I said you can change it on the side, even though it's coming up as what the master says it should be. And then I also noticed when I went back here that I didn't like that this looked so high up. By the way, there's my placeholder. So I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna select all of these, the Frayer model only. And I'm gonna bring them down. There we go. So now let's look. Perfect. So we made our first template. How did you guys do? Good? Awesome.
Actually, I wasn't trying to make mine because I felt that I needed to be seen what you were doing. And I could not be like on my page, and I had no idea what you were doing there, so I'd rather just see
That's
what,
fine.
then later on try it on my own.
Yeah, and Maria, you can look at the video once I put it on the presentation sites.
Yes,
You can watch the video as well to go back and practice with me, you know, watching me on a screen and then practicing. How are the rest of you doing it? Do you have a split screen, or do you have, how are y'all doing it? Anyone? So, so I have a large enough computer. My computer is pretty large where I can move a video over to the side or move the Zoom presentation to the side and actually work on the other side of my screen. But I do understand that if you have, you know, smaller sized laptops, it might be hard to do that. So definitely do whatever you need to do to get through this, right? If you need to just watch what I'm doing here and try to practice later, that's fine. Okay. All right. So the next thing, let's see. What else did I need to show you? Okay. So let's say you want to make another one, another layout, right? What you could do is go to another, you can go to another layout right here. But if you want this same background, what I do is I duplicate it. So you can see here where I did control and I clicked on the slide and I'm going to say duplicate layout, and now I have two of the same. But now I can just get rid of this stuff because I don't need it anymore. All I really wanted was that same background again. I wanted this notebook style right here. So now I can start a whole new layout. Okay. And then I told you I would show you how to grab from another journal. So I'm going to take a look at another journal. This one here is fine. And I want this layout. Okay, and this works for any layout you find, any of those that I showed you earlier today, right? You can go to any of those notebooks. You will have to make a copy of them to keep them for yourself. You can't edit anything unless you make a copy of it. So you will have to do that. But once you do, I'm going to select, where's that layout? I jumped. Okay, this one. All right, so why am I doing that? Sorry. Okay. I should be able to do Command A, and there it is. So I did Command A to select all of it. And then I'm going to copy. And now I'm going to my new journal and I'm going to paste. There it is. It came in large, so I've got to just grab it from the corner. Remember, we want to make sure it stays proportional. And I'm resizing it to fit. And actually, because this one has a really nice design, I don't really need it to be on that notebook. So I'm going to actually paste it on another one. I'm going to paste it here on this white one. And then something did not come in correctly, so I can fix it here. That may have been, for whatever reason, that other guide I had may have been a different size. I'm really not sure why I did this, but I can play with it here to fix it. Okay, so now if I come here, I can add a new layout, and there's that layout. Okay. Oh, and one more thing, sorry. I still have to play with this right here. I have to fix that, but I forgot to show you the, I was about to show it to you and then got sidetracked. All right, so here you've got to do the placeholder. So subtitle placeholders for boxes. Okay, so here in these boxes, you can place subtitle, and there it is. Okay, and then you can just copy and paste and put them in all the spaces where you need students to type. That way they don't have to create text boxes. It's ready to go. Okay, and then I'm gonna fix this real quick. All right, and then the same over here. So here, add some text, subtitle placeholders, put them right in the middle of the white. Okay, and then you can just copy and paste. Get those ready. There we go. All right. So now you see where students can come in and type right inside the placeholder. Same with this one. Okay. All right. Any questions? So we just created from scratch. And then I also showed you how to copy and paste directly into your own notebook from another notebook. So let's come back down here and see what we've got. I should have shown you quite a few of these things, but if I didn't, I'll review it. I'll look at this again when we're done, and if there's anything I missed, I'll show you tomorrow. Here are some really cool tips and tricks for you on fonts, colors, images, how to get color combos that look great together, any of these links, and then just more little mini tutorials on how to use different things in Google Slides, a lot of which I've already shown you, but there are some others there that you might want to look at. So for tomorrow, we're going to finish creating your eJournal templates today. So try to work on at least just one template will work. And it could be the one you started today and you want to, kind of play with it a little more and add some more pizzazz. And then what I would like for you to do is download a picture of your eJournal cover, your cover page. And you do that by going to File, Download, JPEG, or PNG. And then I want you to add your picture to these slides. Okay, these slides are going to be our show and share for tomorrow. So if you want to get it ready. So for tomorrow, I'm asking, this is going to be kind of a reflection for us, but I'm asking that you pick a slide, put your name on it, and then you're going to put your picture of your cover for your notebook here and hyperlink it. Okay. So for example, if I wanted my cover, let me show you. So I'll use this one here. There's my cover to my journal. So I'm going to do File, Download, PNG or JPEG, whichever one. And it came right down here. So now I'm going to grab it and put it here. There it is. So that's where I'm putting my picture. And then I will use the link and place the link to my journal there. Make sure it's in anyone at SAISD can view. Okay. All right. So any questions? We are on for office hours from 3 to 4. Somebody did join us yesterday, which is awesome. So excited. Asking questions about creating their template. And so if you guys are working on it today and you find that you're stuck on something and you need help, join us in our office hours. And that information is going to be right down here. Right here where it says click here. You should be able to get right into our office hours here. Okay. Any questions? We have 1 minute left, but if you guys have any questions, I can stay a little longer. Thank you guys. Okay. All right. See y'all tomorrow.
Sonia, I do have a question. Maybe if I can stay a few minutes.
Sure.
Can I share the screen with you or?
Yes, let me make sure that you can share the screen. 1 moment.